Hello Pisces, and welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be an Astroflower reading from the 19th through to the 25th of September. Have you seen the monthly readings, the equinox or the Mercury retrograde readings? So, September seems to be a bit of a powerful month, really. There's already been a good start. There's big changes afoot. And they should be coming through by the end of this week and the beginning of the following week, between the 25th and the 30th, basically. We'll just see how that sort of plays out. So this is your Astroflower. Let's see what's going on here. Someone pressed the go button on you, really. It's full on all over the place, really. There's a lot going on in your everyday life. Your guides seem to be incredibly active, mainly on your relationship side, I think, rather than on your material side. And it could, and then you've got this second wave that's coming through, which is connected with the world around us. But there is a lot going on. It seems to be, 100% or 150% constantly for you Pisces. I'd be wary of that. That's burnout city, so just be wary of that. Okay, let's just see what's going on in the overall energies here. I think distraction, they're trying, it's not very influential actually this week, the overall energies, but they're trying to, it's trying to encourage an air of distraction that is around you, basically. They're trying to help you to be a little bit more sort of distracted. And the King of Wands, you couldn't get less distracted than that, really, could you? So this is probably what it is. It's a case of, in order to get very productive in your life, you need a balance. And this balance seems to be falling out of balance between play and work, basically. And at the moment, the universe here is sort of, or the overall energy is sort of saying, maybe you're being a little bit too, tunneled vision in a way. Okay, let's just see what's going on the relationship side. Let's see what the karmic message is here. Disappointment becomes from too much expectation, basically. So I think here it's got to realize that some of the disappointment is self-created. Okay, so I would tone down your expectations in other people. I wish that everyone was fantastic, loving and conscious, but there is a majority, or there is a great deal of the world that is still asleep and literally just bumbling around and causing mayhem for everybody. And if you want to deal with this stress that seems to be within your life at the moment, as I said, it's full on. There's nothing that's giving a bit of relaxation. If it is anything, it'd be on the money side, the job and the business side here. And it's sort of saying, the karmic message here is saying, if you want to reduce your amounts of stress and strains, just understand that people have got, everyone's got stuff to deal with in their life. And if you pin too much hopes on one or two things, or you may be highly disappointed in life. Okay, let's just see how the universe is guiding that karmic message. In order to move around, you need to have that space around you. And this is what's not happening for you. you might have filled your cup up a little bit too much, and there's no more space to take in from the outside world. And the universe here is trying to sort of say, with a bit of space, you can do a lot more things. Take the bandage off and see clearly. Decisions need to be made, and this is where the universe is trying to help you here. Streamline things a little bit, because it seems to be getting a little bit overwhelming, not just for you, but for everyone that is around you. The expectations could be a little bit too high. And with the changes that are going on in this month of September and through the autumn period, which is in the equinox reading, you're going to have to be a little bit lighter and not carrying so much weight or feeling so trapped or encased in order to adapt to those changes. Let's see how the guides are trying to influence your karmic message. They're asking you to stop and listen and pay attention to the coincidences that are happening around you. Take a step out. I think I told you this about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Maybe you just didn't do it. And the universe here is trying to really, the guides here are really trying to help you to understand that, give you clarity of, that's the card that came out, by the way. I just had one drop on the floor. They're trying to give you clarity of thought simply by doing a little bit less, maybe. And they're asking you to stop and look and listen. And I think this seems to be a water sign thing at the moment. Emotionally, it might be a little bit wrought for you, a little bit raw. It's time to take a little bit of time out and allow things to just subside within your life. Otherwise, if you push it on full on, you risk to have a lot of worries, sleepless nights, and stuff like that. That's what I'm just concerned about. Okay, but you can own this really by doing nothing. Okay, it's very similar. This is very water sign at the moment. Let's just see how the conversation is going within you. Your guides don't seem to get a word in edgeways, because you seem to be. Are you really sociable at the moment? Are you really running around, or just talking to people or doing things? Preoccupying your life basically. Is there a lot of preoccupation going on, Pisces? And that could be work, that could be a lot of things. But the guides here are sort of saying, we need to know where we fit in this scenario. Allow the space of the, your guides and the outside world and the universe to actually help you and guide you. So, they're calling you to action. They're calling you to action in a way that needs to be, a little less in the way of tunnel vision, because it's going to cause you stress, and you're going to have to make lots of decisions. And there's, Pisces, you don't like necessarily making emotional decisions. Material decisions, bit of a different kettle of fish, but emotional decisions can be a little bit difficult for you. And it's here that's sort of saying, I think both guides, sets of guides here in your super subconscious and your subconscious, they're both trying to help you, but you need to listen to the outside world or the world around you in order for it to work. Let's see what's going on in your money side of life. You got your karmic message here. Don't make work where there's no work to be done. This is what I'm talking about, preoccupation. Sometimes when you're doing business, it's best to leave certain things and allow, like a shelf that's gradually getting unstocked because people are buying it. Sometimes it's good to leave it for a little while just to sort of see how far it goes. And then also when you get down to a certain level, that's when you can restock it, but maybe not restock it totally, simply because that encourages other people to buy it. because they sort of see that, oh, that's selling well, therefore I'm going to buy that sort of scenario. And that's the same within your job sort of career path. It's some things probably better left undone, so it gives you a little bit more sort of leverage within your career, within your business that you're working for, and within your projects or stuff like that. So not everything needs to be done. Take time out, change your fortunes. You need to change. If you want to get these, I think you're going to do well, actually, Pisces, this year. This is coming right through to January. I think you're going to do really well. But I think that adjustment of sort of working to seem busy or working to preoccupy yourself is probably not the best way to go. If you want that change of fortunes, if you want to aquaplane, so basically when you're doing like water skiing or something like that, or even windsurfing, there is a moment when you're in the water, you've been pulled by the boat and you've almost been pulled through the water, and then there's a moment where you get up on top of it, and it's asking you to do that so you don't have to work so hard. I think if you can do that, all of a sudden you're going to be making more by doing less, by the looks of things. Let's just see how the universe is trying to guide that sort of karmic message. In order to have success, you have to leave the space in order for the success to arrive. And the universe is sort of saying, make room, make room. So obviously there's good success coming in for you within that sort of respect. The universe doesn't have to fight in order to do this. It will win in the end. The universe always does. But it's asking you to reach out and be your higher self, be your best example of who you can be, basically. And that may need a little bit of space in order for those victories and the change of fortunes to actually create a lot for you. Let's just, and the universe was willing to give a lot to you. There's big success coming in for you, but you've just got to not necessarily take your foot off the accelerator, but stop trying to, force into every corner. Just let it slide around slowly. It's sometimes you need to do a tight corner. Sometimes you need to let it go loose. And I think it's here is a case of within your financial wealth, business, job, or your projects, it's just allowing it to go a little, slide it a bit, allow it to slide, and then that'll help. It'll push everybody around you within your job and your business and etc. to actually, reposition and position themselves a little bit tighter. So then, a lot more gets done without doing a lot more work. Let's see how the guides are trying to influence this karmic message. They can see the victories. They can see this moment where the water skier gets up on top of the water. They can see this moment where life is going to be a lot easier and free flowing. And they're trying to redirect you in a way that allows you to have that space. Stop fighting it. I think that's what their message is more than anything else. Stop fighting it and just allowing it to happen. Stop trying to do everything. Yeah, so you're holding on, you could well be you're holding on to this idea that this whole idea that in order to get success you've got to work really, really hard. That's not necessarily true. You're a very sharp tool in that box, in the shed, as we say in English, or in England. I don't know if you say in America. Sharp, usually it's like, they're not the sharpest tool in the shed. But this is the opposite for you. You're very on it when it comes down to sort of projects, businesses and jobs and stuff like that. And here it's sort of holding on to the old way of doing it. As these changes come through in September, going into November and stuff like that, you've got to be prepared for those changes. And, if you haven't got that flexibility within you, which normally you do have, Pisces, if you don't have that flexibility within you and you're holding on too tightly, you risk to be a hard transition for you. Let's just see what's going on that. So it's just basically letting go of trying to fulfill everything, Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence the conversation that is within you. They're trying to give you the logic. They're trying to prove to you here that if I don't do this, the sales will naturally come in. Therefore, I've got more time for myself or to explore other avenues of my business or my job or the career path. And that's going to say, basically, you're going to get the same amount of money coming in, but also have that time to sort of invest and explore other avenues. That's what it's trying to sort of show you, that if you're spending before 10 hours doing something, got $100, let's just say now you're only doing 5 hours and you're still getting $100, you're up to $20 an hour rather than $10 an hour, if you understand what I mean. And that's the sort of scenario here. And what you could do with those other 5 hours, it could be sowing a lot more seeds. So here they're trying to help you realize, looking at things in a different way and helping you realize that actually there's other ways of doing it. And I think this ties into here to your success, into this change of fortune. Let go of that sort of conflictual sort of thing of trying to get everything right and perfect and stuff like that, because perfection doesn't exist. And allow the universe to do a little bit of the work, so you can just let go of certain things. Don't hold on to them so tightly. This is how you guys are trying to do it. And you can actually then be called to your true mission, which is coming in really fast. And as it comes in and the changes happening around us, you've got to be prepared and very supple in order to, flexible in order to make it in the new world, as it were. Let's just see what the overall outcome is for all of this. I've got ideas about how the world, how I'd like the world to be, how I'd like my world to be, what sort of relationships I want, what sort of experiences I'd like to have, what sort of financial situations and stuff like that. And it's almost as if, like, at the end of this week, you're gonna get this twig or this penny drop moment where you're going to realize your change of fortunes because you've slightly done things slightly differently, and it causes you less worry and gives you clarity of vision, and also a call to action to the relationships that are going well for you, which could end up that you are that leader and that King of Wands. It's a realization, I think. Oh, there's way too many cards there. There's a realization of in next week of how. Hang on a second. Okay, so realization in next week of how of how you can make this a great success, and how you can be a lot more sort of flexible, and how fun it can be. Okay, so there is the world. So it's a new cycle coming up for you. You're going to take them anyway. It doesn't necessarily mean loss of money. What it's saying here for me is the world is changing, and you are not participating in that old world anymore. That's what it's sort of saying for me in this new cycle. And you're going to, that penny drop, that realization that is the death of the old way and the start of a new way. Yeah. You will get all those abundances that you will absolutely need in this penny drop moment. And finally but surely, let me just bring those all in so to make sure they're in shot. You're going to put those healthy boundaries in, so we don't go back to the old way of being things. It's the outcome for you is amazing, really. And as I said, if you can let go here and allow things to be done for you, it's going to really help you on your financial sort of side, job, businesses, and etc. On your relationship side, it's a case of you've got to you've got to do the opposite. You've got to allow things to happen by themselves, which is very similar to this side here. But over here, it's a case of not worrying about the emotions of the other people, of which you've been very, very busy on in the past. Here is going to give you the space in order to continue on investing in your life. Here is just basically you need the space to breathe by the looks of things. So there's a lot more stress, and it becomes very clear in the sort of relationships and the sort of people and situations that you want around you. Okay. It's going to be interesting, the readings next week, because every single reading so far has been all about sort of pause and the calm between the storm, as it were. Okay. There you go, Pisces. There's loads of links in the description below, including a link to your Astroflower book, the Astroflower Pisces. There's loads of other links there to Instagram, our sister channel, Cymatic TV. So thank you for your support of this channel, and I will see you very soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.